In this video, I'm looking at the final ZE3000 TWS earphones. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So, final. This is a Japanese brand made in the good old JAP. Yes, so before we get started, let me tell you a few quick facts about the ZE3000. First of all, the price tag is $149 US. So yes, we're over that $100 mark. So getting into the more expensive TWS, let me tell you right now, before we get any further, for that price, you don't get any extra features. There's no ANC, there's no active noise cancelling or ambient mode. There's no app support. Basically what you get is the TWS earphones and that's it. But if you're interested in audio, stick around. And by the way, if you are interested in audio, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. And then next time, in the future, whenever I post content, you will know. So real quick, we got Bluetooth version 5.2. The driver is a single 6mm dynamic driver. It's the special F-Core for wireless that was developed specifically for TWS earphones by Final. We have about 7 hours of battery time, so 7 hours of music playback, and the charging case, which is this one here, you get an extra 5 charges out of that, so pretty good battery life. And finally, we have IPX4 water resistance rating, so that's good for sweat and light rain. Now on top of that, down here, can you see that? Yes, we've got aptX or aptX adaptive. Sweet stuff. High res wireless audio codec. Anyway, that's the box. Inside you get 5 pairs of some really nice ear tips. They are the Final E-type wireless, developed again specifically or especially for TWS earphones. They are very nice. They do have a pretty good range of sizes in there, and that is important because you really need to get a good seal and a good fit with these IEMs if you want to get the best sound. If you don't have a really nice seal, a good deep insertion with these, you will definitely feel a lack of bass. But take my word for it, once you got a good fit going, yeah, that is not an issue. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's have a look now at, first of all, the charging case. The ZE3000 comes in 2 colors. Obviously, you got a black one and a white one. They both look really nice. The cases and the earphones have got what is called a Shibo finish. Now, I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but that is a sort of a textured finish there, which is really nice. Resistant to fingerprints, thank you very much. And it also gives you a little bit of extra grip. But okay, so the cases, nice and small. You can see they're a bit smaller than the Tangim Echo case, so very easy to fit into a pocket. Got a good, nice, solid action on the lid there. Seals shut magnetically, and you can shake it about. The lid doesn't fall out. But anyway, let's have a look at these earphones now. And yeah, if you're familiar with Final earphones, you should be familiar with this shape. Man, they are beautiful. So they look really nice. Beautiful build quality. Pretty unusual. The shape looks a bit awkward, but actually the fit is really nice. Very comfortable indeed. So in terms of build quality, these are stellar. Okay, let's talk about the functions and features real quick. Like I mentioned before, there are really no extra features, no active noise cancellation. They do have touch controls on the side, not this part here, but this part here, which is the part that sits flush when you have them properly seated in your ears. The controls are pretty straightforward, but we do have onboard volume controls, and that is excellent. I think every TWS should really aim to have onboard volume controls. I mean, what is the point of having TWS if you have to pull out your phone to change the volume? It just doesn't make any sense. So if there's any designers or engineers of TWS earphones watching this, probably not, but if there are, yeah, volume control, please, every time. Call quality, the microphone. These actually sound really good. They sound pretty great. My voice comes through nice and clearly with plenty of volume. It does a pretty good job of filtering outside noise. So these are great for making phone calls, good for online conferences, Zoom calls, and that kind of matter as well. So really good microphone. And in terms of latency, well, we've got Bluetooth 5.2, which is known to be a very quick, low latency Bluetooth version. And in addition, you've got adaptive aptX. So if you're on Android, you will have a good experience in that matter, in that regard. I, of course, have a stupid iPhone, but I got to say, the Bluetooth 5.0, there I have had zero latency issues, whether watching video or playing online games. Even for gaming, there is really no sync issues whatsoever. These perform really, really well. Okay, now it is time to talk about the sound. Considering Final's reputation for audio quality and considering the rather up there kind of mid-tier price, I had big expectations for the ZE3000. Let me tell you, I was not disappointed. The Final ZE3000 sounds fantastic. It has a clean, pristine, and spacious sound that is among the best I've heard in this price range. It is what I would call a high fidelity sound. It's detailed but somewhat lean. If you are looking for a warm or a bass dominant sound, you'll need to look elsewhere. Alternatively, if you are looking for clarity and crispness, then the ZE3000 got your back. It basically has a neutral or a flat sound signature. It's very transparent, highly detailed, and uncolored. The bass is tight and trim. Attacks on bass notes are fast and well defined, but they're still rounded enough to hit with some impact, so it doesn't feel light or anemic. There is sufficient warmth and the tone of the bass is pretty natural, it's just not exaggerated. The sub-bass extension is good, but the ultra-low notes are kind of heard more than felt, so you can hear the notes but you won't actually really feel a big rumble in your ears. The sub-bass and the mid-bass have a good distinction between them and create various layers, so you can clearly hear each separate element in the lower frequencies. Now the mid-range sounds really clean and open. It's got good separation, it's got good overall resolution. Vocals and instruments sound natural, very articulate and engaging. The note weight is just a touch on the thin side, so as a result the ZE3000's mids are kind of very airy and spacious. You know, there's such good clarity in the mid-range that when you're switching from these to a different TWS earphone, almost everything sounds veiled in comparison. Things like pianos and horns and those mid-range and upper mid-range instruments sound really polished, but surprisingly they never sound shouty or jarring, so there's no noticeable upper mid-range boost. There's excellent spacing in the mids, lending to this sort of airy sensation and a large soundstage. Treble notes are fairly forward, but they are extremely smooth, so it's not a peaky treble whatsoever. It's very smooth. Due to the overall tonality, I kept looking for sharpness because of the zesty treble, but all I find real in this is airiness and extension. Great treble extension. Naturally, this means that the Final ZE3000 has great macro and micro detail retrieval. Now when it comes to the soundstage, the ZE3000 creates a very wide soundstage. It never sounds in the least bit cluttered or congested in the mid-range, even when listening to complex music. But despite the good instrument separation and the airiness and spaciousness. The layering and the imaging are fairly average when it comes to sort of placement. That's not to say it's bad, just that the size and especially the width of the soundstage take precedence over, really precise positioning. Now for a couple of quick comparisons, we will start with the Tangym Echo. The Echo is $99 and it is probably the closest other TWS earphone that I have compared to the ZE3000 in terms of sound signature. Both of these earphones concentrate on audio quality over features, with neither having ANC or app support. Now, compared to the Echo here, the ZE3000 has a brighter tonality due to its neutral bass and more forward treble. The Final has a tighter bass compared to the Echo. The Echo has sort of more density and a bit more impact in the lows. The Final's mid-range sounds a bit more open and spacious, while at the same time sounding a touch drier. It's not as rich and full as the Echo. It has a lighter note weight, whereas the Echo sounds thicker and rounder. The ZE3000's soundstage is wider and larger in general in dimensions, while the Echo is more upfront and intimate. Now, this is largely due to the treble tuning and the slightly lighter bass quantity on the Final. So both of these are really awesome earphones. Which one would I prefer? You know what, if you listen to a lot of classical music, the Final is really, really nice for that due to that wide sound stage and the really clean tonality and the separation. If you're into sort of bass dominant genres like hip hop, maybe modern pop, EDM, etc., you might prefer the Echo because it's a bit more full bodied, it's a bit warmer. Either way, love them both. And then we've got the Moondrop Sparks. And the Moondrop Sparks is another fantastic sounding TWS earphone. Just like the other two, it's got no additional features. The shells are bigger on this one, though. They're sort of more like a conventional IEM, this one. And in terms of sound, the Sparks has the most bass out of the three. It's got definitely a more upfront forward bass, so it's got more bass impact and slam. It's got a bit more sub bass rumble as well. Slightly warmer and rounder notes in the mid-range as well, although it's still got good clarity. But the defining feature of this, as with so many Moondrop products, is the rolled off upper treble. Now it does have plenty of lower treble presence, so it's still got good detail, but it's not quite as airy and spacious as the Final. So again, which one will be better for you will depend largely on what types of music you listen to and what kind of sound signature that you like. If you like something a bit more with more density, more forwardness, and a little more aggressive in the mids and the bass, then you might prefer the Sparks or even the Tangym. If you're looking for something that's very light and airy, very clean sounding, pristine, then the ZE3000 will be the one for you. Anyway, guys, I am going to wrap it up there. That's the Final ZE3000. Highly recommended. One of the best TWS IEMs I've heard, regardless of the price range. Really, really nice sound, especially if you're looking for that kind of audiophile tuning with lighter bass and more neutral sound signature. These are awesome. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more content like this in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Remember, there are links to the full written review and all my social media channels and outlets in the description below. And until next time, see you later.